Welcome to Talk Law Radio with attorney Todd Marquardt of the Marquardt Law Firm at marquardtlawfirm.com.
Welcome back to Talk Law Radio. I'm Todd Marquardt, and Shannon's wearing a different outfit every segment. It's either sweater on or sweater off. But we're here talking about the federal funding freeze so that you know what's going on, because it's the traditional media, the TV, they don't tell you what the law is. They just tell you what they think is really going on in the back of everybody's mind. They just want to give you their opinion. I want to say exactly what the law is.
Right.
And we've been talking about the executive order, the memo, the guidance from the Office of Management and Budget.
The history,
right? The three branches of government and the structure of our government and why everything is slow, why things don't get done, and why that might be a good thing. And this is not political. I'm not saying whether these things are good or bad. If you know me well, you probably already know how I feel.
Yeah.
But that's no fun.
Yeah.
The fun part is knowing the law.
Yeah, for me too. You know what my goal is, Todd? I used to have this professor where you couldn't tell which way he leaned politically.
Yeah.
He would just pose questions. I don't think I'm pulling it off, but
No.
it's my goal.
Right. I do remember one of those professors too. I don't remember their names. But that was good.
Yeah.
Now that you bring that up, when I was thinking about going to law school, my dad had this family friend. We would all visit him because he had a boat. And so my dad bring his kids and we'd all play on the water. And so he was telling his friend, my son Todd wants to go to law school. And he said, Terry, no, don't let him do that.
Oh my gosh,
because
why?
they're going to ruin him.
Huh. What would they do to you?
Well, I don't know. But I really liked St. Mary's because it was religious. You know, you watch movies like The Firm with Tom Hanks.
Yes.
Not Tom Hanks, Tom Cruise.
That other guy, yeah.
Yeah, the other guy. And how brutal law school is and practicing law. But being at St. Mary's, Catholic institution, we had ethics.
Yeah,
So
they did. Yeah.
I really appreciated that because I wouldn't be good at doing underhanded things to get better grades.
Right. If you were in that environment.
Right.
Yeah.
So Jesus was there.
Yeah. That is a positive spin on that. But it was a very hard time. A lot of work.
No, and that's another reason I appreciated it, because of Sister Grace.
Yeah.
She prayed for us.
Yeah.
And I mean, God listened. I'm here.
Yeah.
And you made it through as well.
Yeah.
Although you're probably smarter than I am, so that shouldn't be a surprise.
I'll say the reverse. You're probably smarter than I am.
Well, let's talk about what happened after the executive order, the memo, the explanation, the court case. There was another court case. So this was State of New York versus Donald Trump. And what's fascinating to me is that the State of New York brought a court case in the District Court of Rhode Island. And it was just asking for the same thing, to stop the freeze.
Oh, okay.
To thaw the freeze.
Right. Yeah. So they didn't go after the memo.
Well, this one wasn't as fascinating to me because, you know, the other court case had already gotten a result.
Yeah.
So, well, the results of this case remain to be seen. But I wanted to move on.
Do you ever think about the money? You know, does it ever? I know I focus on that a lot. I've said that before. But when I read all these cases and I see all these headlines, my brain just makes that cash register sound in my head. You know, all the money.
All the money being spent
litigation.
Litigation.
Lawyers are expensive.
Right. Well, I was
I wish we
was-
didn't have to fight.
I was
but-
thinking that in a different way because I don't know how many executive orders President Trump has had, but he's just going to keep pumping those out
You think so?
because people that don't like those policies are going to have to file lawsuits.
Right.
And so I was thinking maybe I need to get into the business of filing lawsuits against the government, because
Plenty of work.
right now there's going to be a lot of work.
And
There's
it
all
is
these
very
lawsuits.
interesting. I did not even think of, because there were so many. I
Yeah.
didn't even. That's very forward
Well,
thinking
I've
of you.
told you
Good job.
about my dream of being deputized by
Yes.
the immigration court so
Yes.
that I could be an immigration judge
Right.
from my desk in San Antonio.
Right.
Likewise, I could file these lawsuits against the federal government too.
Yeah.
Or I just have this idea that it would be more profitable to be filing the lawsuits than to be working for the federal government and defending them.
Uh-huh. Because it's like a salary.
That's what I would imagine.
Yeah. What did
But
you
you're right. It's going to be part of somebody's budget, right?
Uh-huh.
So I wonder, I mean, could one of these government agencies go broke trying to defend themselves? Or
I would think so. Yeah.
so interesting.
Yeah, I think so. They're basically wanting federal workers to quit, right? Is that what's going on at the
Well,
moment?
that was another executive order where President Trump wanted the federal workforce to come back to the office.
Right.
And then there was one that said that if you retired early, or if you quit, you could accept a buyout.
Mm-hmm.
But I heard one commentator ask, where in the law is that even allowed? Because if you work for an agency and there's pay systems already in place.
Okay.
And so how can the president say that you're going to receive 8 months salary?
Oh, okay.
Where does his authority to create that policy begin?
What a great question. Yeah, that's a nice little rabbit hole.
So I think we don't know. You ask, is there chaos? I don't know if there's chaos, but there's lots of questions.
I think you only told one of your stories.
Oh, you want to know my joke? Oh, the other person.
Oh yeah, let's hear your joke.
Okay, first the joke, then the story. What do you call a cow that likes music? A musician. So my other story is no, I think I did. I said
You did, yeah.
I belong to a board of a nonprofit, and somebody came to me asking about the funding. But
Oh yeah, that was the second one. Yeah, you're right.
let's talk about what's going on in or near San Antonio. This is a completely different subject. We'll update you on the federal funding freeze when we have more information. I'm sure that was entertaining enough. Let's talk about what's going on in San Antonio. My son texted me this morning and said, "Are you okay? Did you survive the earthquake?"
Oh
And I
yeah.
said, "Oh, I didn't even know there was one."
Yeah.
Well, there was one down in Karnes County that some people in downtown San Antonio felt.
Oh wow.
So I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, that's crazy. We usually don't get earthquakes here.
Right.
I wonder if it's near the detention facility because there's a big immigration
Oh,
detention.
really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
In Karnes.
Yeah, no, now that you say that, I remember that too, but I wouldn't think that that's related.
Well, you're not my brain.
No,
My
okay.
random brain.
No, but I'm sure they wondered, like, what's happening now.
Yeah.
Another thing that's happening in San Antonio is kids are getting the flu.
Uh-huh.
There's a news report that said nearly 650 students and 60 staff members called out sick with various illnesses. I guess they're calling it the flu. Maybe they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Have any of your kids been sick?
Yeah,
Oh,
a little bit, but it wasn't scary sick.
no, I think that comes with being a kid and being around lots of other people.
Mm-hmm. And it was recently. I didn't realize it was part of a surge.
Well, isn't this flu season?
I don't keep track of it.
I'm not sure how long flu season goes. But if you're out there wondering about the flu, make sure you wash your hands, use hand sanitizer, take your vitamins, say your prayers,
Mm-hmm. Eat some soup.
eat some soup. That's one of my dad's remedies is
Yeah.
he says there's something about soup that helps you get better.
Yeah. Well, those grandmas can't be wrong.
Right.
It's the marrow from the bones. It is.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because when you slow cook, like a chicken, you get all the. That's why
So do you get
people eat bone broth these
Do you
days.
get the same benefit from microwave soup?
Not in my opinion.
Okay.
No.
Well, I'm glad you said that. I learned something today. Bone marrow
Oh, you didn't know that?
in the soup.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm going to have to leave the chicken on the bone. Now I know.
Now we've come
Now
full circle.
Now I understand. I'm so sorry that
You maligned that caldo
I probably did. But
when
now
it was just por tu bien.
I'm glad that I ate it now. And Hulk Hogan, the famous wrestler, used to say, take your vitamins and say your prayers. And
Yeah.
I'm going to take that from his speech today. Everybody stay healthy, stay well, be nice on the roadway, and we'll talk to you later. Well, before we go, what wisdom do you have? What encouraging word does Shannon have for the audience today?
We're all in this boat together, so we might as well be nice to each other. Doesn't matter what side of the political aisle you're on, you treat your fellow human with kindness.
We can still be kind.
Yes.
We can disagree and be kind.
Yeah, it's possible.
We'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
This has been Talk Law Radio with attorney Todd Marquardt, brought to you by the Marquardt Law Firm. You can learn more at marquardtlawfirm.com. And be sure to listen to the full Talk Law Radio show Saturday mornings at 11 on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Each week, attorney Todd Marquardt talks about the law. His mission with the Talk Law Radio show and podcast is to help you discover your legal issue blind spots. In the beginning, God had one law. Don't eat from the fruit of that tree. Then came the 10 Commandments. Now we have federal, state, and municipal lawmakers that won't stop creating new laws. Laws that might impact you without you knowing it. Listen to the show and drop a line on Facebook or email host@talklawradio.com and let the host know what you think of the show, the topics you want to hear, and whether you want to be a guest.